Hello, hello, hello. If you cannot tell by the tone of my voice, this video is being recorded past 11 o'clock, so you already know we're going to be talking about random, crazy nonsense. Nonetheless, though, let's start off with where have I been? What have I been doing? You haven't uploaded a goddamn thing in 4 months. Where the hell have you been? Well, in full honesty, it's mostly life. For once in my life, I'm actually busy. And I don't say that to be like, oh, life's been easy or whatever. No, like, for once, genuinely in my life, I actually have stuff to do. Besides commentating, that's just sort of been added to the routine. It's more so new things, like, for example, having a job in ROTC. That's relatively important. I pay attention, gotta keep up with some stuff. Those sort of things. But it's also, my future. A lot of people applying to college, gonna do college. Some people maybe do trade school. Maybe some people take a gap year. I'm not really that well versed in what other people are doing, mainly because I'm not really asking anyone what they're doing. But, I chose to go into the military. And you may be wondering to yourself, Hubert, why the hell are you going into the military? And that is a very solid, good question at the end of the day. Because if you know me and if you've seen me, you're like, well, I don't really think he fits the sort of military type of person at the end of the day. And you would be right, but the main reason I decided to join is a week or two before the school year started, I had picked out like 2 colleges I would consider applying to. And in full honesty, I didn't really have that much of a plan. Now, by all means, obviously, things could have been arranged with guidance counselors and advisors to just sort of get like a better general sense of how all of this worked and all of that other stuff. But at the end of the day, when I got called up by the Marine recruiter, he was presenting me an option. And I thought to myself, well, I have this option, and I can reject this option. But if I reject this, I'm throwing away something for nothing. Because in full honesty, there was nothing after that. Like, it would have had to involve tons of setup, tons of other things. I still haven't even taken my SATs, as a matter of fact. And it's just because, I don't know, I just never really got around to it. And at the end of the day, this was an opportunity knocking at the door, and I decided to take it. I decided to answer that door, and it's led me down the path that I'm taking right now. And I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, yeah, I know I'm made for this stuff. It's been rough, it's been some growing pains. It's definitely been tough. I haven't thrown up, though. That's a good thing. I'm proud of myself for that. Not yet, though. Not yet. I'm still proud of myself for that. Dude, I ran 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles. I never ran more than a mile in my life, and I did that once. God, I was dying after that, but, we're good. We're good now. Would I recommend it to people? I don't really know, It's a very good opportunity. They give you a lot of benefits. Wait, now I'm sounding like a fucking spokesman for them, bro. No, fuck that. Listen, alright, whatever. I'm doing this. I'm shipping off in July. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be sick. It's months away. Has it hit me yet? No. Something else that also hasn't hit me yet is the fact that I am a senior. Senior in high school. Woohoo, yeah, best time ever, baby. Last year here, not being locked up no more. Get me out of here. It hasn't really hit me. We had a senior skip day after Halloween. I didn't participate in it because I just didn't want to. I'm just like, I don't know. What am I gonna do? It's not like other people to where I'm gonna be driving or hanging out with my friends outside. No, I'm just if I skipped, I would have just been at home playing video games. That simple. That's all I would have been doing. And I decided that I have no better option, so I might as well go to school. That sort of idea. but I mean, the thought of senior year hasn't hit me yet. Maybe it's because of COVID and all of that stuff taking away years of high school. Maybe it's the fact that, I'm just having fun, enjoying myself, that I'm not really coming to the realization of the fact that this is basically the last year, in a sense. And, that is sad, but it is also happy. It's sad because it's like, man, I'm going to be leaving this life that I've known. Basically more than half of your entire life has been invested into this one thing. And all of a sudden it's like, poof, it's gone. All those people you became friends with, if you stay determined to stay in touch with them, you will. You don't make much of an effort, you're probably not going to remember them. You made friends along the way, you lost some, you gained some new ones. It's a whole thing, it's a whole process, but, it's also a happy time because it's like, hey, it's go out into the real world, people are already working jobs, but in the sense that you're gonna be free, you don't have this schedule anymore. You're not forced to be going here every single day, taking classes, taking tests. You're not forced to do any of that. You can have choices to do whatever you want with your life. I think that's neat, and that's the glory of graduation. You get to think about what your future entails, which is nice. It's interesting. It's cool. Very sorry for that very long and dramatic pause. You might have been wondering why any of that even happened, and that's because my mother was very kind and turned off the fan after I had taken a shower. I'm gonna be sweating my butt off because of that. No, wait, it's cold. That doesn't make any sense. No, wait, but then the heaters are going on. It's very complex. I don't know. No, I was also just, for anyone that's wondering, hey, Hubert, is there a new album that's gonna be coming out? Is there anyone you're scoping out? The answer to that, if you asked me, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, would have been yeah. The answer now is, not really. So, the main reason, I'll start at the beginning. So, beginning of the school year, I noticed this one person, this one girl, that whenever I walk past her, she, looks in my direction, then looks away, giggles, smirks to herself, and then skedaddles away. And, that wasn't just a one-time occurrence, that was every single day for, a month straight. And so, eventually, I'm like, bro, I notice these things, and then I'm, talking with some of my buddies, and I'm like, I think I'm just gonna talk to her. What's the worst that can happen? Senior year, might as well make something out of this. Maybe find someone. Maybe be able to experience something with someone else. But whole process was weird, and I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't nervous. For once in my life, I actually played the game. Right, and what do I mean by the game? I mean by actually developing a relationship with a person, and not just shoving peer pressure down their fucking throat, and then, being like, oh my god, there's no way, oh, how could this have happened? There's no way, I can't believe it happened like this. I could have never foreseen this invention, ever. No, I'm not dumb. And, I can learn from my mistakes. Even if they take this many fucking years to catch up with me. But, yeah, no, I finally played the game right. In a sense to where, I just started talking to the person. Eventually the person added me on Snap. We talked there. Got to learn more about the person. And, it just it was... it sort of just became like a hassle to talk with the person. Like, it's not like I didn't want to talk to them. I felt like they were just avoiding me. And I felt like the person just avoiding me, was just like a sign to it's like, I don't know. Like, eventually, like, as soon as, I hadn't had a conversation with this person, like a full-blown conversation in person, in like 2 or 3 weeks, man. Like, it has been a minute since I've had like a full-scale conversation with the person in person. And I do catch feelings relatively easily, but in a sense, I was just thinking to myself while I had been like like a week or two into talking with this person, I'm like, dude, this person has everything that like I'm looking for in somebody. But it's just, it's just work. It's a lot of work. It's the fact that I'm shipping off in July. It's like I gotta start dating this person around and now so that I can create a bond with them. To where, like, I'm gonna actually be able to come back to this person after the 13 weeks of training, of basic training. I'm gonna have someone, besides my family and possibly some friends that are gonna be there, But, I had written an entire album for this person. I wrote 5 or 6 songs for them. And, if anyone checked my Snap, if any of you... Yeah, I posted that I was gonna be releasing an album, like, November 3rd. And building up to that date, it just didn't feel right to do it. Because I had written the album like a week or two before I wanted to, like probably a week before I wanted to release it. And it just didn't feel the same, it didn't feel right. If other things I had done, other songs I had released, it had felt right at the time. But I had been able to let these songs sit for a while, and it just ended up becoming this thing to where it's like, well, it doesn't fit. It doesn't suit my mood. I was questioning where we even stood on anything. And for honesty, I wasn't sure of it. And that's why I didn't do it. I didn't do it because it just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right to do it. Yeah. That's basically where that sort of ends off. I know I'm being very vague about this, but it's I just want to protect this other person. I don't want this person to feel like, get all this unwanted attention. Because they are naturally a shy person, or so I've heard from her friends. So, it's just, I don't know. This just didn't work out. In my own mind, I'm thinking, like, this is the right person, but it's just not the right time, man. Like, I'm doing a lot of other things. I'm gonna be leaving for 13 weeks. I gotta start dating this person around now. And it's just, the situation, it's not clear. It's just weird. It's awkward. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But, yeah, to basically wrap up everything, I've just actually been busy for the first time in my life. That's why there hasn't really been a whole lot of new videos. In terms of albums, it just hasn't felt right to release it. And I don't think it'll ever feel right to release the songs. Maybe I'll release them at the end of the year as just like a little tribute or something, but, just doesn't feel right. And I don't know if it will ever feel right. So, yeah, I thank you all for listening to my dumbass speak for the last 14, 15 minutes or so, and, yeah, that's it.